So do we.
It is 7 o'clock,
She
so
has them too.
I do.
are we ready to come to order?
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
Arnold,
Here.
Beckwith,
Here.
Farcapisi. Here. Flores absent. Cozzini,
Here.
Hamilton,
Here.
Sutton.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
mission statement to enrich, empower, and enlighten the people of the Warren Newport Public Library District. Public comment. Does anyone in the public wish to make a comment? All right. Do we have any memorandum or notes that we've received?
No.
Okay. Then consent agenda. Do we have a motion to approve?
I move we accept the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay. President's report is on page 16. Are there any other trustees who wish to make a report? All right, executive director's report, page 17.
Just a couple things I'll mention. The Black History Month celebration was on Saturday, and it was a packed house. I was there briefly, and yeah, it was great. I think we need to make some changes for future events. We had really everything in the community rooms, so what we really need to do is move the partner tables outside of the table, the art outside of the table. So I think one of the things we'll try to put in the budget are these portable displays for art, because that's this is yeah, I think it's very popular with the community to display student art at these events. So we'll be discussing that as we talk about the budget. I don't think this is a big ticket item. This is relatively low expenditure, but
Use them during Gurney days too.
yeah. I mean, I think we get a lot of uses out of these. It wouldn't necessarily just be student art. I think there's other things we could use those displays for. So that was really great. And the other thing I wanted to mention to the board is progress on the space plan. So you might recall in the strategic plan, and this came out of that standards of Illinois Public Libraries 4.0. Once every 5 years, we should review the library space to make sure we're meeting the needs of the community. So we've looked at different options, although we haven't signed an agreement yet, we're 99.9% sure to go with third way space. The principal, his name is David Vinjamara. He is a professor at NYU, and he actually literally wrote the book on library space planning. That's not where we're going with him. It's kind of cool. So we discovered him through a Rails webinar when we were starting to do research about what we needed to do, look at the space, and we really were impressed by it. And when we reached out to him, his approach is a little bit different than some others, because he uses some retail analytics and a lot of on-the-ground research with this analysis, and he divides the library into zones and looks at how different zones are used different times of the day. And what's really great about this is we'll get a report that will help us both short-term and long-term. It's a report that they'll identify things we can implement immediately, hopefully, with little or no budgetary constraints, and then we'll have some things that we can aim for in long-term when we have a more ambitious approach to changing the space. So we're excited about that. So that's something that we'll get going with. A couple of numbers to share. They worked with the Kenosha Public Library. After they worked with Kenosha, their adult nonfiction went up 231%, and their adult fiction went up 200%. So I think talking to his clients, I talked to Monica Winnick and Orfield, and they've been really impressed. So I think that his approach will really help us. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I wanted to share that with the board, that's in the works. So
That's great.
Is there a fee cost?
there is a fee.
It's a
Yeah.
consultant,
Well, it's within what we have in the budget. I think his proposal was $8,500. I think we budgeted like over 10,000 for it, so it's within our budget. And his fees were in line, if not a little cheaper actually than some other quotes we got, so they're all generally in that ballpark, so.
Did you say he's a professor at NIU?
NY.
Yeah,
And
NYU,
NYU, okay.
yeah, NYU, yeah.
Cool.
And I think that's it from the report. You know, I know we've talked about e-content circulation. We had a conversation about that the other day. And, you know, I think that, e-audiobooks are up, e-books are slightly down a little bit. And I think that can be due to a number of factors. One of our theories is that since we're in CCS, you can get print copies faster than electronic copies. So people are probably, okay, if I have to wait forever to get the e-book, I'm going to order the print. I know I do that, so.
Yeah.
But we'll continue to monitor that. But we don't think it's a lack of desire from the community. I think if we were to throw more money at that ebook budget, we would see our numbers go up.
Sure.
But it's expensive to do that, so.
I prefer the hardcover, and so CCS, not CSS, is really, I've gotten books from all over, but really quickly, here at the library, Grays Lake, Highland Park, whatever. It's, for our book club, sometimes it's kind of hard to get the number of editions, so it's been really nice.
Yeah.
I've noticed a difference, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Oh, cool, yeah. No, it's been great. I think most people that are utilizing it really love
Really like
it,
it,
so.
yeah.
I had a question about another question about the statistics, on 23, where it says total card holders, down 50%, that didn't seem to make.
Yeah, let me talk about that. So, let's see, are you looking at,
Total card holders.
Yeah,
It's on
on page 23. Yeah, so what happened was that when we joined CCS, the criteria changed for keeping cards, so a lot of them did get purged. I think that's when we look at our strategic marketing plan. I mean we still need to work on that, but I think that's I want that to be one of our focuses to bring our card holders back up, because I think our numbers are low now that we've done that purge, considering we serve 67,000 people.
What were the parameters for, like, who lost cards?
I can get you the details and look it
Was
up.
it cards that hadn't been used in
Used,
X
that's
amount of time?
Yeah, I mean, don't hold me to this, but Rebecca, do you know, like,
I
it's.
believe it was 3 years, so if the card hadn't been used in 3 years, and there were a couple other parameters, so they were truly not active card holders.
And what we changed the parameters, does that agree with our policies to discontinue cards?
We had to change our policy at the
I
time.
mean, have we updated our policy? Are we in agreement?
Yeah, we went, yeah, our policies are reflective of the CCS policies. That was one of the stipulations joining CCS.
Okay,
So,
good.
I will say anecdotally, I've seen a lot more people needing help renewing cards, particularly juveniles, because their parents are often coming in and checking out. They get library cards for their kids at school,
mhm.
but you don't remember when you're coming in with your kid, especially if they haven't checked out in a while, to
Which
bring
card?
in all the documentation they'd need to renew their card. And so that's
Oh,
become an issue. It's something we might be able to partner with the schools a bit more on.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's something that, we had we were starting to make progress in partnerships with the schools, and COVID just really,
That's what I
just
was-
knocked that off course, really, because we were doing that, partnership program, and we need to, it's something for us to look at.
Can I ask a couple questions about your?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. The Library of Things, I tried to search the catalog to look at them, and the results were very messy.
They are right now, so.
Okay, what's up with that?
They won't actually be, so right now they're suppressed, because we're trying to get kind of everything in order behind the scenes.
Okay.
So as of March 1st, we're gonna launch them to the public. So there might be a few things that show up right now.
Okay.
Because we have some existing things that already are on the floor that we're kind of rolling into the Library of Things.
Okay.
So for instance, the telescope might show up right now, the Roku's might show up right now, but none of
Right.
the new materials will. So it
Okay.
seems kind of scattershot right
Okay,
now.
all right.
So by March, you said?
Mhm.
Okay. End of
But,
March.
but can I mention something since you opened up the window for me to say this, Joe? I will say one of the things I haven't liked about joining CCS is the CCS catalog.
Yeah.
I don't know how everyone else feels about it,
I
but
don't like it
it is definitely a downgrade. One approach to tackle that, although I don't have a price on it, there's at least one library in CCS that uses something called BiblioCommons. It's another discovery platform, which is very nice. If you want to look at Glenview's catalog, you'll see it. But that would incur a cost, obviously, and I don't know if that's the
But if you put in the title of a book, you get a list of things, and there are many of the things in the list that don't have any of the words you searched for.
Yes, that's happened to me too. You're right.
It's
You're right.
maddening.
Yeah, I think their cataloging is not great.
Yeah.
I mean their catalog is a mess. I'll be
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's one of those things that
Can we complain?
yeah.
We're paying for
Yeah.
it, right?
But so are
Right.
how many other libraries?
Right.
But they must have a
Same.
similar complaint.
You would think.
If a librarian can't,
Unless
I
we're
mean,
so much
seriously.
better
You're
than
like
anybody
Oh,
else.
yeah.
skilled at
I've
searching.
had that problem too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You tip,
yeah.
I'll
And
share.
even if you put something in
You
quotes.
can go on a third-party service
or
like Goodreads
special.
and find the ISBN and then search by ISBN.
Well,
and find
I'm
the book you
sorry.
want.
George, we can't
No,
do it.
no.
Which is
Yeah.
A library needs to be able
less than
to.
ideal,
You
but
need
it's
to put an
probably
author
the best
name
bet.
or a name.
User friendly.
But that's what it's like
For
about
us.
BiblioCommons, because people expect it to work like Amazon, right? If you're going to buy a book on Amazon, you expect to plug it in and get what you want at the top, and our catalog should work that way.
It should.
Yeah,
Well,
so-
it did for WNPL.
Yeah, so it's definitely an issue. So it's something we.
I would think it would work better than Amazon because the population of things to search is smaller.
But I think their search algorithm is better because it's about sales, and they're gonna put everything they can into that.
Right, right.
Right, but you could search for a title in Innovative, just saying.
Right. And I think the problem is the records, the MARC records. It's just clean. The catalog's not as clean as, obviously, we kept our catalog
Well,
very
that's,
clean.
if you're
And
comparing
other,
it to WNPL, it's,
yeah. And other
much more
consortiums,
difficult.
like when I was in Minnesota, Massachusetts, our catalog was also much cleaner than this one. Rebecca,
Yeah.
you've probably the same experience with other consortiums you've been in, so, yeah, it's just,
But if the title's in the 245 field and you put a title in, it should come up.
I know. That probably doesn't explain it. It's weird, I don't know, because like many of staff, all librarians, we've done these searches and looked at the results. We're like, why is? I mean, you're right. It doesn't make any sense. So that can't explain everything. But
Are the patrons of our partner CCS libraries able to borrow from the
Library of Things.
library things?
Only if they come here. So our patrons can put holds on, but reciprocal borrowers cannot. So if an item has kind of waned in popularity with our borrowers, then if they come in, it's kind of like a serendipitous collection, they can come in and check it out, but we won't send it through the delivery system.
okay,
They would have to return it here as well.
very good.
I also was wondering what the, Emily's on page 19 at the top, Emily's employment resource make and takes, what was that? What is in there?
I can't remember all the things that were in there, but there were some
I was just
things
curious.
like a stress ball, and then some
Okay.
resources in terms of like a nice pen and
All right.
things like that.
And the other one I wondered about was the outreach one, that first one, networking event. What was that, on page 20, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
where are you at, Joe? I'm sorry.
top of, under outreach, Literazgo.
who or what?
That's
Networking.
that's a leadership. It's Hispanic leadership group essentially.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. All right, thanks.
Any other questions on the executive director's report?
I thought it was interesting under information technology on page 20 that you received a phishing fax charge at the library fax number, which I thought was also not just an email, not like other things we've done. And that you had to report it to the Department of Homeland Security. That kind of got my attention.
Those used to be a lot more common.
Yeah? Okay, I've never seen it here before, so interesting.
All right, ready to move on to old business? Automated material handling update. Ryan, take us away.
Yes, so this is getting delayed further, mainly because of people being out sick, including myself last week. So what our thinking is now, the task force, is to come back at the March meeting and aim for a August installation. So the idea was for us to replace the automated materials handling system, is aka the book sorter. The idea is to replace it before summer reading. But at this point, it would be iffy. There are a couple of vendors that said they could do it based on a more advanced timeline, but not all of them. And we don't want to select our vendor based on like when they can install it necessarily, right? So we're going to look at an August install. So thus, I'll come back to you in March and ask you to select a vendor.
How will that affect budgeting?
That will mean, well, it's a good question. It depends on which vendor we select. Because some vendors may, their payment terms are differently. Some may require more money upfront than others. So I'll let you know. But yeah, odds are it will probably, although I don't, once again, it depends on the vendor. Probably what will happen is that we'll want to allocate some funds next budget year for this project. But some of it will be paid for this fiscal year for sure, I imagine.
What have we budgeted for this fiscal
I
year?
think it's approximately $160,000.
What's the estimated?
That, I mean, it's gonna be in that
So we
ballpark.
budgeted the whole thing for this year.
Yes, we did.
Okay. This has happened to us before.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Any other questions on the book sorter? All right, new business. Board policy 1010, trustee code of ethics. Do we have a motion to approve, or is anyone have any
Can I just make one
questions? Yeah,
comment
please.
first? The, on page 29, where that, it's about the fourth or fifth one from the bottom, where it says trustees shall politely listen during public comment and public forum, and there's a comment there that it's part of the ALA statement. But I think that was a comment on something below that was removed. This is not in the ALA statement. And so we just need to take out the comment and it's okay then.
Well, and correct, that's why we put it on new business, because you caught that in the last revision,
Yeah.
so we wanted to make sure everyone saw that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So then, I don't know if you can say as presented then, maybe as
But
amended?
The comments are always removed on approval anyway.
Well, that's true. Okay, good point.
I move that personnel policy 1010 trustee code of ethics and behavior be approved as presented.
I'll second that.
Okay, roll call, please.
Beckwith,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Arnold,
Aye.
Flores, absent, Farkapisi,
Aye.
Kotsinis.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
All right. Next, I see approval of personnel policy 311, jury duty and witness duty, page 34.
So a couple of things, George. So we checked with Jen Hoy, our HR manager, and it's the per Illinois Jury Act that a copy of the jury summons or subpoena is required. That's why it's in there. Because I know the board suggested maybe we don't make it required, but it's in that Illinois Jury Act. So I don't know if we want to add per the Illinois Jury Act, which is 705 ILCS 305.
Yeah, add it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah.
That we won't ask again.
Yeah, and that way everybody will know it every time. they
So
look at it.
per the Illinois Jury Act, which is
Just per ILCS reference, what is the ILCS reference?
705 ILCS 305.
ILCS 705.305.
Yeah.
Okay, and that'll go right before the period in that sentence.
And then we got clarification about the, if an employee has an evening shift and they have jury duty during the day, they cannot report to work for an evening shift. So if someone were to work tonight from 5 to 9, they had jury duty today, they can't come in and work the 5 to 9 shift.
Yeah.
Can you read the sentence, a copy of
So
the
it'd be a
jury?
copy of the jury summons or subpoena is required for ILCS 705.305, or is it dash 305?
It's written, it's 705 ILCS 305.
For 70, per 705 ILCS 305.
Yeah, there were no
Okay.
dashes or.
Thank you.
All right. Can we get a motion to approve as amended?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, roll call, please.
Falcapisi,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Arnold,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Flores absent, Cotsinis,
Aye.
ayes have it.
All right, next one, elimination of policy 312, since this is now redundant, since we've included that in 311.
I move that the personnel policy 312 witness duty be eliminated.
Second.
All right, roll call, please.
Arnold,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Falcapisi,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
Flores absent, Cotsinis,
Aye.
ayes have it.
All right, and that leaves us to makerspace update.
I think the update is that, continue the conversation. We're hoping that the board will, as discussed at the last meeting, allocate that $5,000 that was originally the budget for the mobile service office remodel to the Makerspace project, and then the remaining Bikers for Books funds to the Makerspace project.
I move that the board allocate the 5,000 budgeted in fiscal year ending 2023-2024 for the mobile services office remodel to the Makerspace project. In addition to allocating the $2,946 remaining raised during the Bikers for Books fundraiser to the Makerspace project.
I'll second that.
All right, roll call, please.
Hamilton,
Aye.
Falcapisi,
Aye.
Beckwith,
Aye.
Sutton,
Aye.
Arnold,
Aye.
Flores absent, Cotsinis,
Aye.
ayes have it.
All right, potentially actionable items. Any additional agenda items we want on here? Hearing nothing?
One thing I was gonna ask about is, what is the status, were we gonna do material selection, and we set it aside for,
Policy?
at the beginning, yeah, as a policy for the board policies? Am I remembering right?
As in for March or just this year?
I don't know, I thought it was put on hold, do you remember why? You said you wanted it done, and then we put it on hold, it's still on my desktop, I'm just curious about it.
That's how she remembers
You
it.
Material
have-
selection? I thought we
Review, yes, we have.
did it.
Okay, I'll check when I get
Yeah.
home.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It could be on the list for this year too, but maybe just not for March.
Okay,
I can see if it's in
I'll
our
look
to-do.
when I get home.
Oh, okay, so it is on the list.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll look at it. We'll look into it, yeah.
Okay,
Good job, Joe.
well, maybe.
Will we, is the automated materials handling on here then?
Oh, yeah, that should go on here. Good.
Are we under E, other potential?
Yes.
I'm wondering, item 4, executive director quarterly review, evaluation and goals, isn't that a closed session thing?
I think this is the,
Process.
I think we talked about, it would be open session to quarterly talk about the, my goals from the board. I think it's an open discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Because we're talking about the goals, not the,
Performance of the goals,
Exactly.
okay.
all right. Public forum. We have members of the public present. Does anyone wish to speak?
No? You sure?
All right, announcements. Anything that we want to add beyond what is already listed? All right, that brings us to the end. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move that the meeting be adjourned.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
George, you're very close to the record.
7:25.
It was close. It was close.